Hi folks, it's me Carl, and I am happy still, moonshine. Anyways, today I'm going to do my last run while I'm here in the Philippines. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and make a tutorial of it. I'm going to walk you through on running a still, but before I do, I'm going to teach you about how do you know when your mash is ready? How to get your mash into the pot. The reason why. How to start your pot with the flame. How to follow it with your hand to know where you're at instead of all these gauges and stuff. And once it starts, we'll show you how much moonshine that we get as we're getting it. So I'm going to begin this way. I'm in the Philippines to see my sister, and in a few days I'm leaving to go back to America. But what I did is I shipped a still that I have here to the Philippines. This is Rosie. I got her from American Copper Works. I worked with a guy that owns a company named John Zazak. He also can be contacted at moonshinestills.com. Now, his stills are great quality, 20 gauge copper, and I'll tell you what, she's dented and banged up because going through customs, they beat the hell out of her. But I'll tell you what, she still does her job beautifully. This is Rosie. This is Rosie. She's my first still that I got from John at American Copper Works. I also have another still in America. That's a 25-gallon still that I got from American Copper Works. Both stills are quality work and put out a quality product each run. Each run. Anyways, if you're interested in a good quality still at a great price, and I'll tell you what, I mean a great price, he will work with you. You contact him, but you tell him Carl sent you. And he'll work with you on a great price. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Also, if you're interested, if you like my hat, if you like my t-shirts, I had those made up at a place in Naples, Florida called Custom Tees Now. It's CUSTOMTEES Now. You talk to a lady named Carol, and she'll hook you up really good. But you tell her that Carl sent you, and she'll really work with you. Anyways, let's get on to the show here, okay? Before we can start running our still, we have to put our mash in. Okay, we made up our mash, we waited. How do we know when it's done? Some people think that when the airlock is done bubbling, it's done. Well, there's still magic going on. Let it go for a while. When I do a regular mash, my first mash, I usually let it go for 14 days, okay? And it really puts out a good product. Sour mash, when you make that, that's usually 7 days, but that's a different story. We'll make another video on that at a later date. For now, let's figure out how we know our mash is ready. There's 3 things I want to point out. The first thing being, when you make mash, you have sediment, corn and everything that sits at the top. And yes, this is corn liquor, okay? You notice how it's clear how all the corn is dropped, okay? That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Now the old timers, back in the day, they didn't have all these gauges and test hydrometers and this and that and that and this, okay? So we're gonna go a little bit of old school here with I'm gonna put a little decent rap with it, all right? Old school. You taste it. If it tastes sweet, it's not done. It's still working. But if it tastes bitter wine, then that means that it's ready, okay? Now, I went ahead and, yes, It tastes like wine. I went ahead and bought one of these things called a refractometer. And what that does is you put a drop on the screen right here. You put the lid down. You look through the light, and it'll tell you what percent that your wine is at. Okay? I'm going to take a look here and see where we're at. My. Oh, that's a beautiful sight. She's at 18% alcohol. 18%. That's going to give me a good run. That's going to give me a strong run. So, anyways, I don't know about what companies do what, but that's a refractometer that I bought. I'm not going to do a plug for them because, well, I bought this on my own recognizance, so it is what it is. There's plenty of different ones out there. Check them out. Try what you want. Okay. My mash is ready to run. So, next question. Why not just put all the corn and everything in there, in the pot? Well, if you put it in the pot and you put the flame under it, you ain't got no way to stir it. And with the sediment sitting at the bottom, this stuff will scorch. You scorch your mash, throw it out. It's ruined. It's shot. It's no freaking good, no effing more. I almost swore there, didn't I? I'm going to try and keep this kid presentable. Okay? So, what I do, is I set up a pump with the hose. And I use a small pump. The reason why is because the first rule of moonshine is patience. You gotta have patience. Patience making your mash. Patience waiting for your mash to ferment and be ready. Patience to pump your mash. Patience to run your mash. Patience to collect your moonshine. Patience, okay? So with that, I use a small pump because the slower it goes, the more the fluid I get. My idea is to take the fluid from the bucket, get it put into my pot, and leave all the corn behind because I reuse it again, making sour mash. Once again, that would be a later tutorial. So I'm going to put my pump in. I'm going to set my still up here. And I use a cheesecloth because pump still will have sediment that will come through. Okay? So we use cheesecloth to catch most of that. Now, I gotta get closer to the outlet here. Isn't she just beautiful? Alright, that should be close enough. Bear with me, I'm still learning their electricity, their money systems, all that stuff. Anyways, as you can tell, it's pumping into the still, coming out of the bucket. Let's go ahead and let this pump in there, and we'll pick back up from there. Alright folks, I'm getting down towards the bottom of this thing, and I'm trying to get as much of the fluid out of it as I can. That's why I got the bucket tilted. Now it'll take about 2 more minutes and I should have about pretty much everything out of here. So just follow me while we do this. Like I said, it's excellent tasting mash. It's gonna make some good shine tonight. It really is. It really is. It really is. But right now, the idea is to try and get as much of the liquid as you can get. Alright folks, well, I just got done pumping the fluid into my pot, and I want to show you something. Here's the reason why I use cheesecloth. As you're pumping your mash, there'll be sediment. If this stuff gets on the bottom of the still, it can actually scorch, and we're trying to avoid scorching at all costs. So we're going to take that off for right now. Set that right there. Now I'm going to set the still up. We're going to put the still together. And I'm going to explain how this thing works. Okay, the way this works is the mash gets hot in your pot. As it gets hot, it comes up to temperature. Sorry, we just got it nice and clean. I like to keep her that way. Rose is beautiful and I want to keep her shining because she keeps shining on for me. Okay. As the mash evaporates, alcohol evaporates roughly around, I don't know, 172, 173 degrees. Water evaporates at 212 degrees is what water evaporates at. Sorry for the delay. You have a window between 173 and 212. To collect your vapors from alcohol. Now I go from my still into what's called a thump keg. And a thump keg, what that does is essentially the same thing this thing does. It distills your liquor. Only now it distills it a second time, of which you get more of the impurities taken out of. And being it's a copper still, it helps eliminate a lot of the sulfur so you get a better taste. By removing a lot of the impurities, it prevents getting that, oh my head hurts hangover. Okay? Believe me, my moonshine, you don't get a hangover and you feel good and you're happy on it. After it goes from there, it goes into what's called a worm. A worm is a coil inside that's surrounded by cold water, and you want cold water because it's hot vapors that's come through here. When it gets to here, you want to cool them down. As you cool them down, it condenses and consolidates into a liquid which comes out the bottom of your worm. Now the first part, the reason why I'm using a small jar, I got it marked because the first part of your liquor that comes out is methanol. It's poison. If it don't kill you, it'll definitely make you go blind. So be sure if you're going to do any home stilling, be safe about what you do. Be sanitary about what you do. And make sure you throw that first shit out. You want a repeat customer, man. You don't want to kill you guys, seriously. Especially if they're your buddies, you know what I mean? So, from here what I'm going to do is I'm going to start setting up this still. The first thing I'm going to do is, since I got the pot already filled, is I need to do what they call charge the thump keg. And by charging a thump keg, what you do is you add liquor, mash, whatever. I happen to have a jar of liquor from my last run, along with a little bit of what's called tails from my last run. So I'm going to use the tails because tails has got a lot of flavor but not a lot of liquor. And I like to carry my flavor over. Anyways, I'm going to get set up here on a few things and I'll be back and we're going to start charging the thumb cake. I'm going to show you how the paste is still and then after that we'll get a flame. So hold on for a few minutes. I'll be right back. Okay, our thumb cake. We're going to go ahead and charge it. With it, I got some leftover tails from my last run. I got a jar of shine from my last run. I always do this to carry my flavor over. A lot of people don't do it. There's many ways of doing this. This is my way. You don't necessarily have to do it, but I do. And I got a little bit left over from my personal drinking, so I'm going to go ahead and throw that in because the more I put in, the better proof I get. Now, your thumb cake, the pipe that goes from your pot, the tube goes all the way down to the bottom. You got a little bit of gap, okay? And that allows the pressure to pour the vapors down there, which will heat this up in a sense, so it gets hot. This tube is almost flush at the top, so that way the vapors can be pushed through. Now you don't want to fill your thumb cake over at least a third or not even you don't want to go halfway because if you do, your pot could puke, your thumb cake could puke by accumulating, come out your worm, and then you got your crap coming out and it's all cloudy and it ain't no good. But I am going to put a little bit of water just to bring this up a bit. And that's perfect. My level right now is about right here. Just above the drain. Just above the drain. And if you want drains, you talk to John. He'll build your steel however you want. This is a custom left-hand steel. No, normal steels go from right to the left. I wanted a steel going from the left to the right. Does the same purpose. Okay, so thumb cake's charged. Now, I got her all put together. I got it dry clamped. Now what we got to do is seal your joints. I know two places on this steel that I get vapors that come out of. One is at this seal right here at the joint. The other, there's a little spot on the top that I have a problem because when it came through customs, well, they dented the hell out of it, and when they dented it, it caused a little pinhole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up some putty to show you on how to plug this thing. Okay, I told you I got a couple leaks on this because when it went through customs, they banged it up. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to teach you how I make paste. Some people use flour, some people use biscuit powder. Me, I use whole grain oatmeal. It's cheap. It's cheap and it works and it seals like you would not believe. So let me show you how I make my paste. I take a little bit of oatmeal. That's more than enough, and as you can tell, it's the whole oatmeal. Not the cinnamon flavor, not the banana flavor, just plain oatmeal. What you're gonna want to do is get it in your bowl. You're gonna add a little bit of water to it. I just add a few splashes. Start off like that. You can always add more water if you need, okay? If it's too thin, add more water. If it's too thick, or if it's too thin, add oatmeal. If it's too thick, add water. You have to edit that. Okay, let's start spinning it around. Start stirring it. That water will start to absorb. It looks like I think I got the right amount of water the first time. Once you do this long enough, you'll pick it up. Like I said, if it's too thick, you add more water. If it's too soupy, you add more oatmeal. The idea is to try and get the texture almost like a Play-Doh or like a bread dough. Just work it in. Just work it in. And you can roll your spoon and it rolls on your spoon. Just like that, you're pretty much there. You're there. Let me show you. See how it looks kind of like bread dough? Maybe like Play-Doh. What you do is you break off a little bit. That's probably too much actually. You break off a little bit. And you take it to your trouble spots. Which I know my trouble spot is on top from this area. Somewhere in this area, and I just haven't taken the time to find the leak. Just push that in there and that will seal your leak. Now, to seal my seam, I'll make myself a nice little roll area. You go around your seam. And I like to start behind it and then take it and push it forward because the pipe goes this way, so you want to collect everything and stop it from coming out. That way. Go ahead and create a nice tight seam around the front, middle, and back of your pipe. Being that I have some extra, I don't really need it on this area and this area. But being that I made up extra, I'm going to go ahead and put it on there. I start from the top. I take it, I'll push it down, push it over that bolt. Everything's nice and tight there. Go to the bottom and seal that real nicely too. I know I don't need to do this one, but just for pretense purposes, we're going to do it anyways. Once again, take the dough because I got a seam here and I got a seam here. Push down, cover that seam. Fill it in. Go to the bottom. Surround it. Push up. Cover that seam. Surround it. Tighten it. Now as this gets hot, this dough will harden nice and hard and it'll prevent anything from happening. Okay, with this being at this point, we're going to do a walkthrough, right? Tight, covered, tight, covered. All right, cap, tight, cap. Need to put the tri-clamp on. If you don't have this covered, all your vapors will come out here and you'll lose everything. If this ain't tight, that cap will blow. I've had that happen before when in my earlier age. All right. That's what I'm going to show you up to this point. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to get a flame under it. And after we get a flame, I'll show you a quick shot with the flames under it. And we have no choice but to sit and wait for her to do her magic. Go through the pot, go through here. Go through the thump kick, come back out here. Into the worm, out the worm. Now you can do something that's called walking. You can literally, as she's getting hot, you can feel by your pipe of where she's hot and where she's cold. Where she's hot is where your vapors are at. So you can literally walk to find out where you're at. Because once she gets about right here, by the time you spark a cigarette, take 3 or 4 drags, she'll probably be running. Alright? So we're going to take a break. I'm going to get a flame. And I'll show you a quick shot with the flame going under it. And then from there, I'll show you how I check it at different points. Show you where she's at. Alright, so with this, we're going to say hold on and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I got a flame underneath my still. I've been running it for a little while. The altitude here in the Philippines is different than it is in the United States. We're at sea level compared to where I'm at in North Carolina, which is, I'm not for sure how high I am, but I'm in the foothills, which is a lot higher than at sea level. Anyways, you can tell where you're at by following, touching your pipe. If it's hot, it means it's there. Right now, it's warm, it's cool right here. It's warm right here, and it's getting hot right here. So that tells me right there is where I'm at. So it's going to follow through into my worm. Once it gets to about right here, I'll turn on my water so I'm not wasting water or making my pump work excessively hard. But from there, we should have moonshine. Once it reaches this point, we should have moonshine, I'd say within 5-10 minutes tops from that point. So I'm going to go ahead and come back once we get ready to start dripping. Hang tight. Finally, the time has come. I'm starting to run. She's starting to drip. A little at a time. Now she's starting to go. I want to show you something fun. The first stuff that's coming out, I'm collecting, is up to this line. Raisin beans, it's like I said, that stuff is poison. It will kill you. It won't hurt you. It might make you go blind. If it don't blind you, it will kill you. So don't go giving that to your customers or your friends or whoever you're making the moonshine for, even if it's yourself. Anyways, we're gonna let that accumulate, but to prove that it's actual liquor that's coming out here and not dramatization purposes. See that? Beautiful. And we got liquor. We got liquor. Now once we get this part past the poison part, then I'll be able to start collecting and I'll be able to sample it, see how it tastes coming off the still. So bear with me for a minute because we're almost there and it's going rather quickly. Adjust my water a little bit. There we go. There we go. Nice little trickle. You want 3 to 5 drops per second. If you get 3 to 5 drops per second, you're doing good. If your stream comes out and it's bigger than a matchstick, you're going too fast and it's going to be too hot. Your liquor will burn going down, and you don't want that. You want to go low and slow. That way it's nice and smooth as a baby's ass. I'm almost at my collection point. Once I'm there, I'll swap out my jars. Once I swap out my jars, I'm going to put my finger under it, try it, and see how the hell it tastes. And I'm looking forward to that because my liquor, it's got a unique flavor. It's got a delicious flavor. I usually run between 100 and 110 proof is where I proof mine down to. When I get there, oh man. Oh, it tastes so good. It tastes so good. Bear with me for a minute, because like I said, we're getting there. We are getting there. Yeah, baby. This is the part of the whole process that I love the most. When I see it come out of that worm, that's when I just feel it, man. I just feel it. I love making moonshine. I live for my moonshine. I drink my moonshine. I make my moonshine. I dream of moonshine. I live for my moonshine. On a 5-gallon still, you want to throw out between roughly 50 to 75 milliliters of the heads or poison stuff, whatever they call it, heads. I don't go by heads, hearts, tails. I just, based on experience, know when to start collecting and know when to stop collecting. And right now, I'm about maybe a 1/16 of an inch of swapping out jars. Then I can give it a taste. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Daddy's thirsty. Come on, baby. Daddy's thirsty. I need some more shine. My jar's about empty, so I gotta have some more because I'm here for a few more days and, well, gotta have the shine, man. Ooh, a 30-second. We're down to a 30-second. Here in the Philippines, the water's not getting so cold as it does in North Carolina, so it takes a little longer to fill as if I was in the States. Yes, I live in North Carolina, moonshine capital of the world. I'm not going to tell you where I live in North Carolina, nor am I going to tell you where my 25-gallon still is. Don't need to know that shit except for me. I'm there. I always put cheesecloth inside my funnel. Reason being is because it helps keep bugs, dirt, debris, just shit out of your jar. That's not stuff that you have to clean later. I mean, you don't want to be having stuff floating in the jar. We're going to set up our next jar. That way we can swap them out nice and easy. The cheesecloth doesn't filter the taste or anything. It's primarily just to keep the bugs out of my jar. Anyways, see how it tastes. Oh, hot damn. That's some good shit there. We got some good moonshine being made now. Yes, we do. So with this, I'm going to go ahead and put it on pause because I'm going to go ahead and start collecting my jars. Once I get down to the bottom, got all my jars collected, I'll come back and I'll show you how to proof this down so that way it's more drinkable. Because it's sipping liquor and there's drinking liquor, and I like drinking liquor. Sipping liquor is when it's hot, it burns, so you have to sip it. Drinking liquor is when it's so smooth that it's 110, you think it was 70%, maybe even 60. The stuff that I got compares to 60 proof here. Nice and smooth. You don't even know it until you stand up. Trust me, the other night, I got fucked up. I mean, did I say I got fucked up? I got fucked up. I did. I'm not going to tell you what I did because it's rather embarrassing on my part, but me and my family got a few laughs out of the situation. Well, we still laugh about it. All I can say about this is I made one hell of a lasting, permanent impression. That's for sure. So I'm going to come back and we'll pick this back up after I collect all my jars. Let me do my job. All right? See you in a few. All right, folks. I'm going to show you how to proof down. What we did is we took our cleared product that we had and we poured it into a pitcher. Okay? We left the jar for tails. Now we have everything combined together into one in our pitcher. What we're doing by that is combining all the flavors. You got a tail, you got a heart, and you got a head. Mix it up. I need my test tube. Thank you, sir. Okay. We're going to do this in little increments here. I need some bottled water too. I'll grab that in just a second. First of all, I want to find out what proof I'm at. To find the proof, you use an alcohol hydrometer. An alcohol hydrometer has your percentage, and on the other side, it's got your proof. Okay? Now I'll tell you where you're at with your alcohol. Right now I'm at 150 proof right now. So we got a lot of proofing down to do. What you want to use is distilled processed water. You don't want to combine a different brand of water. You want to stay with the same brands of water when you use it. Otherwise, it'll turn out cloudy. So with it being at 150 proof, the Filipino way. Yes, I just said that. We're going to add 1 bottle of water at a time until we get to our desired proof. I like mine between 100 and 110 proof. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to need 2 bottles. So I'm going to start off with 2 bottles. That much I already know. Stir it up. Once again, check it. Right now I'm at 110 proof. I got 1 or 2 options I can do. There. Can you see that? 110 proof. I can either stop right here or I can go ahead and add some more. Me, I'm going to stop because I like it at 110 proof. I still have a few days left in the Philippines. And God damn it, I got to do some drinking, and I feel like getting drunk one more time. And I need to do it on my 110 proof because I want to get fucked up. I don't know if you heard me or not, but I want to get fucked up. Okay? So, now you know how to proof it. After you proof it, you take your product. There's what I was looking for. Try and put everything back away. Take care of your stuff. Your stuff will take care of you. That being said, take your finished product, pour it in your jars, that's all there is to it. Once again, I am Carl. I am happy still. I want you to follow me for more exciting and informative and fun adventures on my website or site on Facebook, KarLLarsson, or on YouTube under Happy Still Moonshine. Once again, a plug again for John Zazak with American Copper Works, moonshinestills.com. Excellent still, excellent job, excellent product, 110 proof. Can't go wrong. Folks, follow me for more, okay? Until then, I want you to keep on shining.